This is what your electromagnetic field looks like. You have neutral, positive, neutral, negative. If you have a magnet and chop it down to a million pieces, down to its atoms, each atom will be a tiny little magnet. So there is no north and south pole, there's only pressure mediation. So you have mid-pressure above, mid-pressure below, high pressure above, high pressure below, but it actually curves as it curls. Thank you, Nassim Haramein. Magnetodielectricity is the inner volume of our atoms. The electron cloud around is the electron, because electricity or electrification is produced by rest against motion. Rest is the dielectric field in the center. Motion is what comes out of the center, and then it goes back to the center because it wants to return to its primordial state, which is rest dielectric field, which is pure potential. Force and motion, force is not power or energy. Energy and power is pure potential. The loss of energy, the loss of power, the loss of potential is what we call force. So a large torus is produced by the release of energy when you drop the bomb. So true energy is in the dielectric, not the magnetic. The magnetic field is a torus field, which is a donut, and that is produced from the pure potential dielectric field at the center. So at the end of the day, this is a ferrocell. Ferrocell was invented by Tim van der Elle and Ken Wheeler, the world's leading magnetician. He reinvented the ferrocell and created the supercell. So what you do is you get ferrofluid, 1/10 of a drop of ferrofluid, which is oil that has iron inside, little tiny nanoparticulates of iron. You squish that between two optically flat pieces of glass, and then the oil with the iron spreads out. You put a ring of LED lights around it, shine the light through it, and you'll notice that you get these black and white lines. The white lines going out and then back in is magnetism. The black lines going in is the dielectric field. So the pink dots are where the intersecting magnetic field lines are. It's a moving net of energy. It's a mag. Mag means to move in Sanskrit. Net is this dream catcher shape. And field, what is a field? A field is an ether perturbation modality. What is the ether? It's pure potential. So now the resting stillness, quietness becomes loudy, noisy, voluminous, and luminous. Therefore, magnetism holds magnitude, its volume, it's both voluminous and luminous. So anything visible, audible, tangible is it is manifest from the unmanifest, which is 0-point energy, the source of all creation, source point singularity. So this is the galaxy, it's the gal-axis. We're not in the Milky Way. This is the Milky Way Via Lactea, the Milky River, Via Lactea, and this is the mother with the two breasts where milk come out from, and this is balance. This is the gal axis. This woman, she's doing, while she is turning, the sign goes carried this way like a hula hoop, and the sun is going west to east, even though this goes east to west, because you have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra. So the sun is going this way with the moon, because the moon spends 2.5 days in each sign, the sun is 30 days in each sign. So the moon would correlate to, because the moon is either above your head at the Tropic of Cancer or above your head at the Tropic of Capricorn. You're not going to be out here with the moon above your head or at the North Pole with the moon above your head. You're going to have to look this way because the moon is only it's in one of those signs. So wherever it's at, it's going to be above your head up there, or above your head over there, or above your head up there. So now the planets, it's not a rainbow, it's actually, it would go like a ceiling, but you have your own arc of horizon. So if you're like a little person, you have an arc, and the sun is this orange layer, and the sun is always underneath the stars, and all the luminaries are just swirling out of here, and they have their own layers. The moon is the closest to us, the sun is there, and Saturn would be out here because it's the moon layer, exolayer, magneto layer, then Venus, then the sun, and then Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn. And they correlate to stratosphere, troposphere, ozone layer, mesolayer, ionolayer, exolayer, magneto layer. They all correlate. The sun is the mesolayer. So just want to point out that it is the right-hand rule of magnetism, because everything is going one direction. Mid-pressure, out the center, out the top, back to the center. High pressure, out the center, out the top, into the middle. Boom. And it's all going one direction. So Ken Wheeler said, that's the North Pole. He said, when you have a stronger magnet, N52 Gauss, this is magnetic flux showing you how powerful the magnet is, N35, N52. N35 has a bigger field. This has a smaller field, but it has more magnetic attraction. So this one, you can hold it far away and it will start sucking things in because this field is bigger. It'll repel things from far away, but if you stick it to a fridge, it doesn't get stuck. It just has a bigger, larger field. But this has stronger attraction. So when you stick this one to a fridge, even though it has a smaller spatial field, the dielectric hole at the center is way bigger. That's a small hole. Imagine a bigger hole. Well, that would mean it's an N52 Gauss. You can't repel it from far away. You have to get closer to the object to repel it. That's the point, is that the spatial field is smaller, but the capacitance is higher, the dielectric field, because N52 has a smaller magnetic field. Basically, a black hole is super powerful, right? Well, it would have no magnetic field. It would just be that's why you have the galaxies flat, because there's a black hole at the center. There is no magnitude, even though it does shoot an astrophysical jet stream. You don't see the orb, you just see the plane of the Milky Way because it's a black hole. That's where the energy is. So magnetic repulsion is the extrinsic or the external attribute, posterior attribute of the dielectric hyperboloid itself. The hyperboloid is the hourglass, and from that hourglass, Milky Way galaxy, boom! If magnetism overthrows the dielectric field, then you would have this big torus bubble. The toroid, a voluminous dimensional force. It's both voluminous and luminous. The N52 Gauss has smaller spatial field but larger whole dielectric sink. True energy is in the dielectric, not the magnetic. Force is the opposite of power. Pure impotency. Force is pure impotency, which is the release of or loss of pure potential, which is true power. So thank you. One more time. Large torus is produced by the release of energy. This donut is released from the center. And there's the big donut. Neutral positive, neutral negative. This is the snake eating its tail. And it's right there. This is the book called Secret Teachings of All Ages by Manly P. Hall. The snake eating its tail because it's the generation and degeneration of matter. It's the unmanifest zero-point energy ether manifesting and demanifesting itself. As it turns out and it comes out. Even turns right as it comes out the bottom, and then it turns left as it goes in. So it goes right as it goes out, left as it goes in, right as it goes out, left as it goes in. Okay? So boom. And that's the lotus of life, because it's a reciprocating precessional hyperboloid oscillating pulse perturbation. So yes, when they say that the universe has the Big Bang and it was an explosion, well, it's not the Big Bang. That means it happened already. It's an explosion and an implosion at the same time. It's still happening. They're still banging. It's still pulsating. The universe is always expanding and contracting. We always have cycles. Everything is cyclical. The calendar is a cylinder because it's neutral positive, neutral negative. Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn. And spring, summer, fall, winter. Spring, summer, fall, winter. This is how light works. And as this is happening, from the center, out the top, around to the bottom, center, top, around, bottom, center, top, and it's doing that, and it creates this tree of life, creates your torso, tree, torus field. It's all there. There you go, guys. Explained perfectly. Thank you. No person today can define a field or energy. It's pure potential.
All is atoms.